Welcome to the Drooling Moose Podcast, where we talk everything homesteading, off-grid living, self-reliance, and self-sufficiency. This is episode 11 of the Drooling Moose Podcast, and we are back from a little bit of a break. If you listen to my last podcast, I just done a short little brief blurb where I talked about how things were going to be delayed a little bit because I was dealing with an injury from a car accident. And unfortunately, it's not improved. I had some major whiplash. And so I'm finding myself with 3 weeks where I'm not working and I'm unable to do any strenuous activity. So I'm off from work. The weather here is beautiful, and I can't work on any of my projects. So, you know, I could let this really upset me. I could let it defeat me. I could let it, I've gone through some depression and some frustration and some anger, and probably will go through some of that, some more. But what I've chosen to do is take this time that I have to give back to you guys, to the listeners, to the people who have followed and supported Drooling Moose Hideaway from the beginning, or even just if you've only been following us for the last week. We just appreciate your support. We really do. And so expect a bunch of content. That's what I'm going to work on. I can't work on actual physical projects here right now, but I can write articles, and I can make podcasts, and I can make some videos talking about, homesteading topics, etc. And so that's what we're going to do, at least for the next 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, I'll go back to my doctor and do another follow-up. I have physical therapy as well in the meantime, and we'll see if I'm able to go back to work then. But so it is a little trying. It is a little frustrating that I have to deal with. It's a loss of wages, but there is some workers' comp. But the way the laws are, it's going to take me a while to get paid, and even then, it won't be even all of my pay. So I'm going to have to basically go after the other driver and their insurance. It's a mess. It's not something I want to deal with at all. But I'm going to make the best of it. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about. When you have injury, when you have illness on the homestead or just in life, how you deal with it. But before we get into that a little bit more, here's a quick word from our sponsor.
You in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down.
All right, and we're back. So, like I said, I don't want to beat this horse to death, but I think it does deserve to be talked about. Injuries, illnesses, they can happen to the most healthy of us, to the most careful of us. It can happen. And how do we deal with that, especially when we're off-grid, especially when we're homesteading, when it's, we've got livestock to take care of, we have water to haul. I have all these projects around here that I've been waiting all winter to be able to get started on. And just as I get started, as you might have seen in the last YouTube videos that we put up, it showed us kind of starting out, working actually just right across the brook over here. We just got started, and then now it's going to be several weeks at least before I'm able to go do those things like normal. So it is what it is. And like I said, I could choose to be depressed or just angry, and I am these things at the same time. It is a bit depressing. I am angry. I'm extremely frustrated, but none of those things are constructive. So I'm choosing to be constructive. I'm choosing to help build our brand here, Drooling Moose Hideaway and the Drooling Moose Podcast, and to give back, to create content for you guys. Hopefully get ahead on some episodes. This is the first podcast episode that we're videoing as well. And we are, and part of that is we were just making our comeback return to YouTube when this happened, and our videos on YouTube were going to be videos of us over there cutting and felling trees and milling lumber and building a house, and all those are coming once I'm able to again. But I wanted to keep that content going, and so I decided, well, let's go ahead and video the podcast and try it out. So this is me trying it out in my wonderful studio out here. I'm sure you can hear the brook running in the background there. But it is a beautiful day out here, so I figured why not do it outside? So here we are. But anyway, it's one of those things where we often don't think about or don't plan for injuries or illnesses until they happen. I know I certainly wasn't expecting to, get into a car accident. I was rear-ended. And not be able to do any work around here for several weeks. So it is tough, but I know that moving forward, I'm going to make an effort to, design things in a way that are more conducive to those issues. And I'm sorry if this wind, it looks like it's showing up here on my audio recording. So I apologize if the wind noise is really bad. I'm going to try to clean it up here in post. But if I'm unable to do that, we'll make sure that next time, we're better sheltered from wind, or we might take it inside. It was just a nice day out, nice scenery in the background and stuff. So anyway, we never know what's going to happen. We could have it, I don't think we should live in fear, and I don't think we should let the fear of an injury or an illness stop us from fulfilling our dreams or doing the things that we want to do. But it is something that we should think about and we should consider that, we identified some weaknesses. Luckily, nothing that is too big for us to overcome. But, there were definitely some critical things that relied on the fact that I was capable of doing a certain level of physical work. And now that I'm not, we've had to make a few changes, some adjustments. And none of this was showstoppers for us, but it could have been. I could have been even, injured worse than I was. Or whatever. But, we were lucky enough that, blessed, the kids are growing. Caleb's a big, strong young man. And he's helped out a lot with some of those things that normally I would be doing when it comes to some of the more, labor intensive physical work. That's been honestly the biggest thing. And then of course there is the loss of income. Despite the fact that there's workers' comp insurance and that there's the car insurances and all that, I'm going to lose income for a good period of time. That's going to take me quite a while to get back. It's one of those things. I'll get it back in the end after everything's done going through court or, who knows what else. And over the next 2 or 3 years, I might finally get all my money back that I would have normally been making. That doesn't help me right now. So, making sure that we're set up, and especially here's one of the things too, is we rely on, if times get tough financially, the fact that we can grow our garden, to help produce food, or we could butcher some of the animals. Well, guess who does that work? The harder labor of setting up the garden beds or doing the animal butchering. That would be me. That I can't do those things right now. I could probably clean a chicken, but prepping the garden beds that we were supposed to be doing, that's getting put on hold, at least at the moment. The kids can help out and stuff like that, but it's just not as efficient. So, this really couldn't have happened at a worse time of year. But it is what it is. We're dealing with it. I mean, in a way, it could be worse. It could be winter time, and I have to deal with snowy, icy walks and stuff like that, and firewood and all that. But I mean, the frustrating aspect is that I have all these projects that I should be right in the middle of doing right now. Beautiful weather, and it's worse that I'm like not working too, right? If I was still going to work, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But I'm home with nothing else to do for 3 weeks, and I can't do any of these things. But it is what it is. But these are just things to think about, because honestly, I didn't give them really much thought. I mean, yeah, sometimes you think about it, but, just thinking about, what things you're relying on a certain level of health and fitness to be able to perform certain tasks that are critical. Just at least thinking about a backup plan for that. I mean, if you have like family that lives nearby that can come over and help out, that may be fine. That's one thing. We don't have any family that lives near here or anything. But we've made it work. We're doing all right, but it could have been worse. And that's really got me thinking, what other areas do we need to make sure we have plan Bs for? And this goes into the self-reliance, the self-sufficiency, that relying on yourself is great until you can't rely on yourself. And then you need to have some other backups in place, some other systems in place. And we've, fortunately, the minor adjustments, and it's put some other systems in place that, are going to help out with things here, even after I'm recovered, which should hopefully be soon. I'm hoping that, I'm going to be calling the doctor before the 3 weeks is up, asking if I can go back to work. I'm hoping, but we'll see. I want to make sure that I'm fully healed up before that happens, before I push it. So, I mean, I think that's enough of talking about me and what's happened. Honestly, it's just one of those things, but expect a lot more content coming out. I don't really have a schedule yet. I got some things planned. We're going to be working on it, but over the next 3 weeks, I will have nothing but time to do nothing but write articles and shoot some videos and more podcast episodes and stuff like that. So hopefully we can get ahead on some things too, so that when I'm finally doing a little bit better and can get to work on some things, I can be busy doing those things and can maybe be kind of ahead on some of the content as well. But this is just a way to thank you guys for all of your support. Everything that we just love seeing you guys, interacting with you on social media and Facebook and stuff like that in the comments. It's been great. And anyway, that's kind of short, and it's again kind of a little bit of a different episode this week. But thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Make sure you're checking out our website, the YouTube channel, right here on the podcast feed. And we will be coming out hopefully with a lot more content over the next couple weeks, because I've got nothing better to do. So I might as well just come hang out with y'all. So until then, I'm going to leave you with this quote from Jimmy Dean. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination.
Stop trading yourself for the approval from others.